So this video is a bit of an extension on my previous one about how you can grow your indoor jungle for less. If you haven't watched it already, I'll link it at the end. I've come across a new channel or avenue to buy plants for that I hadn't previously considered and only came across by accident. But it's where I found all of these plants that you can see in shot around me, and some that are out of shot, where I found them at genuinely unbeatable prices, better than anything that I've found directly if I were buying them in person or buying them online. So I'll cover what the event was, how you might find similar ones local to you, and also the various plants that I've got and how much I've paid for them, so you can see the type of deals that you might find if you can find a similar event local to you, and then you can grow your indoor jungle for less too. So I'll start by running through the plants that I've got and the prices that I paid for them, just so that you can see the amazing deal that I've got on some of these. So the first one you might recognise is a Calathea White Fusion, and you can see it has some really stunning leaves on it. If I just try and tilt it so it'll fit in the shot, in the light you can see that amazing pink colour on the back of the leaves and this amazing white or pink to white variegation on the front of the leaves as well. This particular plant is quite large. I'd probably say it's about 50 centimetres tall in a 14 centimetre pot, and it's got loads of leaves, a very big plant, very healthy plant. And I know Calatheas are notorious for crisping. There's a couple of tiny points of crisping on it, but I think that might be just because it spent a week in my house so far, so I need to put this in a spot where it's going to get higher humidity and it's going to be a bit happier. So price wise, I'd be very surprised to find this under £25. That seems to be the lowest I've seen it. Mid-range generally 30 to 35, but I have also seen it for more. It is a very nice plant, but I'd generally consider that above what I'd be willing to pay for a single plant, particularly one that can be a bit of a diva and quite challenging. As already mentioned, the crisping that Calatheas can be prone to, so I'd be a bit concerned as to whether I can keep it alive and keep it looking this good over the long term. So that's my challenge, to keep this looking fresh without any crisping. So this was just £15. £15 for a Calathea White Fusion of this size. I've never seen it at that price, and even checking before the video just for research to make sure I was giving you the right figures, still nothing at that sort of price range from plant retailers. So £15 for this one. So this next one I'm sure you'll recognise. It's a Philodendron Pink Princess, a really good size pink princess. You can see in the shot it's quite wide. It's in a 12 centimetre pot, about 35 to 40 centimetres tall. Lots of lovely pink variegation across the leaves and very healthy. New leaf that's only come up in the last couple of days since I've had it. This was a truly unbeatable price. I've never seen these this low. We got this for £14.40. It was £17.99 originally, but the retailer had a special offer on for the event with 20% off all of their plants, so that went down to £14.40. Looking for these online for this same sort of size, I'd be looking at a minimum of £30. The retailer even suggested about 45 to 60 for a plant of this size. So that is probably my bargain of the year in terms of plant finds, and really pleased with this. I almost ended up buying two just because the price was so good, but I did restrain myself and refrain from buying another one. I'll just make sure that I take care of this one so it stays as healthy as it currently is and grows into a much larger plant with lots of these lovely leaves that you can see. So the next plant is this Syngonium mottled. As you can see where it gets its name from, these amazing leaves with a mix of greens and this white variegation across them. It's a really healthy plant in a 12 centimetre pot. It's got lots of new leaves just coming up as well. You might see one here and one here. This I've looked online. I've seen it before. I've wanted it for a while, but again, as with the White Fusion, it's maybe a bit more than I would have wanted to spend at the prices I've seen it at previously, around about £25, whereas this at the event was just £10, and that was the price it was being sold for. No special offer, just £10. So again, I had to buy this at that price as I knew I wouldn't find it for that price anywhere else. So the next one that I've got is this Calathea ornata, or pinstripe plant. As you can see, where it gets its name from. These lovely glossy dark green leaves and sort of stripes, pink stripes across the leaves. I probably should have filmed this in the daytime as the leaves have started to go up, so it's difficult to see all of the leaves together with the detail on them, but you can also see the lovely sort of red or purple underside of the leaves too. This has been on my wish list for a while. I've generally seen this for about £16 to £18, and when I did a little bit of research before this video just to see what the going rate was for them, the lowest I could find it was £15 and up to about £25 with the most expensive ones. This was just £10, so similar to the Syngonium. No special offer, just £10 for this. So this was a definite purchase, finding it at that price. So the next one that I've got is another Calathea, a Calathea majestica white star, or Geopertia, however you pronounce it. I know some Calatheas have been reclassified as that, but we'll just call them Calatheas because that's what we know them as. So this one is what I almost think is an opposite of the Ornata. So it's got green and white leaves with these lovely green stripes on, and some of the younger leaves have a nice blush to them across the white. So they've got similar colouring on the back as well to the Ornata, the sort of dark reddish purple colouring. This one's in a 14cm pot. It's quite tall, between 40 and 50 centimetres tall, as you can see in the shot there against me and against the other plants. Looking at the price, if I were to buy this directly either online or from a plant shop, I'd expect to pay £15 to about £25, depending on where you buy it from. And this one was just £10, again similar to the Ornata. It was from the same retailer as the Ornata, so they must have either a really good wholesaler and get these for amazing prices, so they don't need to charge as much for them, or they've just got a very generous pricing strategy that allows them to sell their plants for lower prices and mean that the customers, me, get these plants for a really good price. So this next one's a bit of a standard one. It's one that I don't have, but the colours really stood out to me when I walked past it at the event. This is a Ficus elastica Bleeze, and if I move it into the light, you can just see the amount of leaves and the size of it actually in terms of sort of spread of the leaves, but the wonderful glossy green leaves with that white or cream variegation and pink or red tone to it, and there's a new leaf coming up in the middle on the way. So it really was the sort of red tone to this that made it stand out in the plant display at the event. And the size of it too, it's about 50 centimetres tall. Can't even fit it all in the shot. And this was just £5.99 at full price, but with the 20% discount, this was from the same retailer as the Philodendron. This was just £4.80 for a plant of this size. I would expect to pay £10 to £15 for something like this if I were buying it from another retailer. So another bargain find, as well as all of these were, but a really great price that we paid for that. So the next plant that I've got is this Monstera adantoni in a plastic hanger, as you can see there on the door. I've just put it on the door so that you can see the size of it. The vines that it's got quite a few vines, as you can see against the door, go down the length of the door and are about a foot, 6 inches to a foot away from the floor, so very long vines. It's got loads of new leaves on the way that you can see in the top of the pot. It's starting to grow up and grow out, so very, very full pot and really healthy plant. Lots of new leaves along the way. It's got some small leaves and some of those nice mature leaves with all of those lovely fenestrations on. So this was just £15, which is a fantastic price just for the fact that it's in a plant hanger. So you might have noticed if you do shop for plants quite often, plants in hangers do often go for a premium, and all you're paying for is the plastic hanger that's attached to the pot. So if you can, always buy your plants out of hangers, and if you want to hang them up, put them in your own plant hanger, as you'll pay a lot less for them. This one I would have expected to be more because of the plant hanger and because of the sheer size of the plant, the length of the vines and the fullness of the plant. At £15, this was an absolute bargain. So another one that I had to buy, as I knew I'd never find it at that price again. Looking online, smaller plants. I couldn't find one quite this large. Minimum that I could find it for in a hanger was £20, but that was if the vines were just below the hanger. So to find a plant at this size, I would probably expect to pay at least £30 to £40 maybe. I'm not quite sure what to do with the vines. If you do have any suggestions, then please do pop them in the comments below. I'm not sure whether to just let them keep trailing, or if they get to a certain length, then they could be a good propagation opportunity as well. So I might try either trimming them off or propagating them while they're still attached to the plant, and then maybe filling up another pot with the Adantani plant. So the final plant and the star of the show, as you can see in the background, this huge Monstera deliciosa, a large form. You can see the size of the leaves. If I put my hand back against it, I'm not quite sure how many hands that leaf would be, but you can see how big it is, and also how spread out it is across the two doors, almost across that side of the room actually, in terms of the size of the plant. This was £40 originally, and with a 15% discount for the event, so it went down to £34. I had been previously looking at these, looking to get one, and I'm glad that I hadn't, and then found this one. So the one that I'd found was £22 and was the lowest I'd found it for at £22 as I've been shopping around. And that was actually a smaller plant, so that was 3 leaves, maybe about this sort of height, I'm guessing, based on the photos. Whereas this one, as you can see, the sheer size of it and the leaves, at £34, I was very much willing to pay that price and add it to the collection and tick it off my wish list. So this was a hugely successful plant haul for me, to get the plants that I've got and to get some that were on my wish list at the prices that I got them for, which was totally unexpected. So it's why I wanted to do the update today and add it as our next video, as this hadn't been somewhere that we had considered buying plants from before. So it was actually from a plant or garden and homeware type exhibition event, where it had multiple homeware, garden and houseplant retailers there, all in one space, all selling their various products. And the benefit of these events is the retailers, first of all, there's lots of retailers, so you can shop around the different ones and see where you can get the plants for the best possible price. But also, you often find the retailers will have promotional offers for the event to try and encourage you to buy while you're at the event, as you'll get the plants or whatever they're selling, but in this case plants, for a better price than you would if you were buying them directly from them. Also, I found at this event the retailers were also giving away further discounts if you were going to return as a customer. So some were offering sort of 10% discounts off to then purchase more things from their website or from their shop. So there's an added bonus there if you want to buy more things. In this case, it was a national event, but you can often find local plant markets if you look around your local area, wherever it is that you're based, and you might be able to find similar ones where they bring different plant retailers together, so you can then shop around and find some event-only deals. If you do just pop it into Google, I'm sure you'll find things, but another one in the UK is Green Rooms Market, which dots around different locations. I think they've recently been in London, they'll be in Coventry later in the year, and I think they sort of go into northern cities as well as. I hope you found this video interesting and useful in giving you another new channel or avenue to get your plants for the best possible price. So do have a search and see if you can find any local events or even national events in your area that you can attend and shop around from all of those houseplant retailers. If you have any comments or any suggestions of other ones that you know of that you can share with us, please do put them in the comments below. If you want to check out the other video, which has more tips on how you can get your plants for less, then we'll link it at the end. If you've got any questions, please do put them in the comments below, as with your suggestions, and we'll have new videos every week on a Sunday, so please do consider hitting the subscribe button to get notified when the next video is out. Thank you for watching Grow Your Wellbeing.